What's good, guys? You got a wicked crazy pinfalls here. We finally lined up this thing. Me and Maggie talked for a while about doing a morning show for once in a while, like here and there. So it kind of lined up. And as the saying goes, what's good, Maggie? How you doing?
I have a surprising day off. This is why the stars lined up.
I feel bad because I should be interviewing you better. FIFO legend, wicked crazy pinfall queen bee, tournament killing, always ready to go. The superstar herself, Maggie. By the way, I wanted to say this. The compliment you guys gave me, because go check out Maggie's show on Fightful Overbook. It's freaking amazing with her and Rob. And a compliment you guys gave me, because I had to ask someone else's opinion on it, and I sat back and sat on it, that Wicked Crazy Pinfalls is the NXT of the community. I was like, I guess so. I really don't know, but I'll take it. But
Sure, like you do amazing work, Throwback. Like you give a platform to people, and they can see if they're up for that kind of shit, like we all do. So this is why not?
yeah, it's fun because you look at the litany, and one of the other people you guys forgot to mention, with you and Rob was Pluggo, because Pluggo's doing
Oh yes,
stuff
yes.
on Love Wrestling. So me and a buddy of mine ran down the list of people, and I'm like, I sat back and I'm like, wow, we're getting close to 2 years, and I didn't realize how many people have started on Wicked Crazy Pinfalls and doing amazing things. Like you stated on your show, is that you guys did stuff. Rob was the very first one, and there's the story about that is, and I was surprised you didn't touch about it. We had technical difficulties like for 2 hours straight with internet and programming and stuff, and literally me and him were at the point like texting each other, like, freak this, fuck this, we're gonna freaking just give up, and then it just automatically just clicked, and we're just like sitting there like
Yeah,
Pluggo
granted,
was
Rob and I have technical difficulties every week. Like I cannot tell you. Like at one point, we just talked about having the before the show and after the show things also taped, so we can do a blooper reel. 'Cause it's just
it's just, for me, it's just makes me laugh because it's like, that stuff, you coming on, and then all of a sudden the whole freaking thing just turned upside down. If
I'm
you
sorry, but
ever,
I'm really, really not.
no, you're not. If you ever seen Maggie on Wicked Crazy Pinfalls, go back in the catalog and watch. Every time Maggie appears, everybody just drops their jaw, because I turned around and the first thing, and if you remember me talking about this, I'm like, Maggie, you're allowed to say whatever you want, do whatever you want, and you just took the ball and run with it. That's why I gave you the
Sure.
nickname the Queen Bee of Wicked Crazy Pinfalls, because really, this is the one show where I tell you, you could do whatever you want. I don't care. So long as it doesn't get me in trouble, go right ahead. And like the COVID conversation you had, the show we did with Spencer Love, shout out to Spencer. And then just
Hey,
a lot of the other shows that we've done, it's just literally ball for run. A lot of the guys' jaws dropped completely. A lot of the conversation, and that's the best part of having Maggie as a good friend, because Maggie's got a heart of gold, and anytime you need to talk to someone, Maggie's the one person that you could reach out to. And anytime I've had issues or anything, like I had this past weekend, I wasn't really confident about the show. Everybody's schedules don't work right now, so it's like I was really conflicted about maybe killing Wicked Crazy Pinfalls just for a while. But the conversation I had with you had with Rob kind of lifted me up and be like, yeah, well, it's going in the right direction, but not the direction I might want. But at least it's going a certain way to give people a hope of doing all this stuff. But
you know what? If it's easy, like it's not fun. Like uh, getting through difficulties and going through obstacles just makes you really more confident that you really want to do what you do. And when you overcome these obstacles, you just you just get way more confident in yourself in what you're doing, and you build friendships, and you build people up that way. So it's giving up is the easy part. You can always give up and do something with your life, as my parents always tell me to do. So no, fuck them. Like, giving up is easy. Like, never. No, the it's when life gives you lemons, just drink tequila.
And you
It's
wonder why I told you you and Amanda would get along so well. And if
sure.
anybody knows, Amanda's my girlfriend, and literally just like they're the same type where they're not afraid to speak their minds, and that's why I'm glad to have both of you guys in my life. Really,
Actually, the thing I'm proud of with being on your show is not actually what I did in case in case of speaking my mind and whatnot. I'm actually proud of getting you guys more comfortable in the show.
like
This
cracking us
this
up
is
and just like being in shock. Yeah, just letting us be ourselves at times and not worry
Yeah, because
about stuff. Yeah.
I thought it felt like you guys all had like a bunch of sticks up your asses, and you just like didn't have so much as much fun as you would guys like want, and I just made you feel more comfortable and be yourselves. And this is the thing I'm most comfortable, I'm most proud of. And whenever I see that you guys are getting the sticks back, I'm gonna come on the show again.
Yeah, and that's why like you've tried coming on a few times because you realize, oh, Pat, you're not doing too great, but I can't get here, and then you crack the whip, which a good friend is supposed to do. Um, we'll talk about wrestling, obviously, a little bit, just because of the fact that both of us talk about it all the time. You on Fightful Overbook here with Wicked Crazy Pinfalls, and me doing NXT for Body Slam. So, and it's just awesome to see how much we've all changed and stuff. I mean, look at Pluggo talking with JPJ. Like I said, the one person we haven't talked about that hasn't been on is Anakin. So I mean, that's interesting too. um, and then
Maybe he's on his way for fruit roll-ups, and just
if you guys see half the conversations we have privately in chat, you guys would literally just, yeah. Uh, but first thing we're going to talk about is obviously the Wicked Crazy Pinfalls tournament, because I wanted your take on it, because considering the fact that you are in probably the roughest bracket in the entire tournament after
you
every
did that on
bracket.
purpose, by the way.
Yes, I did. I'll admit that. I will admit that. After all the crap talked during the original brackets and stuff, this had to be done. Rob wasn't. Rob was talking stuff about Drew, Dennis Farrell too, and you guys. I mean, come on, who could beat this, right? Let me pull this up. Who could beat this, right?
Drew.
I mean, come on. By the way, I love you. You're an awesome friend, so don't kill me. But I when we played that, and anytime like stuff like this, right? Like
Drew.
or RJ said,
Hello, Drew. If you don't recognize me, I don't blame you. It's not your fault. You're a cultured man. This is your dear old sweet friend, RJ City, and I have a message for you from.
I mean, when that stuff happens, you have to put 2 out of the 4 people in that bracket. And I see that this is when Mania comes and stuff, and for Stand and Deliver for the first part of that bracket. I have a feeling that it's going to end up being just a narrow margin between you and Rob, just because of the fact that not again, just for like predictions, because I know how good of predictions you both can be. Dennis is pretty good, but Drew's the wild card in that. So what do you think
I
about the
know.
drawings?
I know. Yeah. Like, okay, granted, me and Drew are on our bestest terms ever. Like, as I mentioned on the show with Rob, my microphone is named Drew because Drew actually helped me and sent me money for it. Because, like, I'm sorry, but like, it's uh by me calling him out to be an asshole with that whole, head of the table gimmick, which I hate, and I will forever
I,
hate that.
and I egged him on during the Rumble picks, so I'm sorry about that. I have to apologize about that.
Oh, it's fine. It's okay. So it's not. I know, like, I know that he does numbers because he's just so annoying when he's in that gimmick. But like, I get it. But like, Drew's the best. Like Drew, like not the head of the table dickhole guy. Like, just Drew's the best, and I'll be honored. I won't be annoyed because it's not the head of the table. If it is, I'm sorry. I'm gonna beat your ass. But like, if if I have to go up against Rob, like, are you trying to like separate us? Are you trying to get Rob? Are you trying to get me fired?
No, I'm not. Like,
No,
would
no,
I
I'll
ever
never
want
do
to do
that,
that?
Maggie.
Well, I mean, you know where I am. So, but I honestly, and I do give Rob credit for this, and you've heard me say this, and everybody said this. Rob is technically the co-creator of this whole show and this channel. So, I mean, I'm not going to set Rob up for failure because of the fact that in that bracket, I know they're good people, good-hearted people, and at the end of the day, it's just you guys bantering about stuff. So, it's going to be fun to watch. But if you come out for night one, it's going to be fun watching that triple threat and seeing who comes out of those brackets. Because I know that Twitter game, what you have, and that Twitter game is going to destroy everybody that's in those brackets.
Yeah, but I can do it with Rob because like Rob is literally the best ever. He's just like one of the most kind souls out there. And Dennis is just cool. Like Dennis is Dennis. Like it's
And the thing about it, like I said, everybody's helped me out through this and stuff like that. So that's why, when schedules lined up with this, I had to take the shot and be able
yeah,
to
I
talk
know,
to
I get
Maggie
it. Like
about it.
you're all about the clicks.
Hey, no, I'm not. I'm
Likes
all,
and swipes.
yeah, no, I'm basically all about giving people a good conversation because if like I said, I watch you guys Fridays like every time, and what you guys said on, and we'll talk about this now. Go, like I said, go check out Fightful Overbook. It's really good. Um, you guys gave me a shout out, and Rob almost made me cry. I'll be honest with that. There's certain things Rob said on there that I was just like, I can't believe it. You guys have been putting me over last week. I really appreciate it after having a really rough time. Saturday into Sunday, a lot of people know that my car got stolen. My girlfriend, who's probably watching, is a detective like crazy. She drove around the block and found the car, and her money was stolen. My my key fob for my car is still missing, so that's why
I don't
like
know what
my
that
ring
is.
door. It's with certain cars you have a push to start. So it's the little right here. It's the little freaking fob right here
Oh, okay, yeah.
to start
I'm
the
sorry.
car when you're
I
not near it.
neither know things in English that are concerning cars, and I've never ridden a car in my life, so I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Well, we've been having the doorbell is a Ring doorbell. It's a smart doorbell. So we have we have the video of it, but the person showed up around 12:45 to check all that stuff, but a lot of stuff was lost. About maybe $125 in US cash.
Why do you keep cash in your car?
No, Amanda's purse was in the car, so it was
Oh,
her
I
money
get
she
it. I get
lost.
it. Yes.
Um,
So did she lose all her documents, like ID or stuff like that?
no, they were all that stuff was there. The glove box was broken a little bit. The all her stuff for her skateboards was still there. So whoever took the car was not interested in getting a haircut. Oh, I love you, Amanda. Don't kill me. Um, it's one of those things where they took the car and they basically, because my gas meter is all by miles, and they did like 45 miles in there. There's certain other things that in the car that we're missing now, so it's like, we have to go through the insurance, and well, the insurance is being a pain in the ass. So it's interesting that the detective girlfriend found it before the cops did.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah. So they got some wrestling yesterday with NXT. I know you don't watch that much, but what do you think about the 2.0 brand as a whole?
Oh man, actually I watch NXT every week. I actually just finished NXT from last night. You know, I talk about this with Rob a lot on the show, and the problem with me is I have trouble letting go, and this is
I'm not going to sing it. I don't want to get monetized. No. Disney will probably give me a copy strike.
yeah, no. And this is as much problem with wrestling as it is in real life also. So I I can I can let go of the old NXT because it was so amazing and it was so awesome and badass and cool. Like the black and gold brand. This was like, and granted, the theme song of the old NXT was All Out Live by Slipknot, and I'm a huge Slipknot fan. And if you listen to the lyrics to that song,
Pastor,
no,
don't sing. It'll be in my mind all
no,
day. I won't.
no.
I have a horrible singing voice. If you ever want to know
I have a wonderful singing voice, but I'm coughing right now, and no.
if you ever want to look at it, I'll retweet this. There is a video on this channel in the early years of this channel of me doing karaoke singing The Freshman. Oh my God, it's horrible.
Okay, now I gotta see that. I really gotta see that.
It's bad. It's really bad karaoke.
This is why I want to see it.
I'll pull it up later and I'll put it in the chat room.
Great, this is amazing. They made.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing with the new NXT is I do not need a second main roster show. Okay, let's say a third because it's SmackDown
Yeah.
again. I don't need one. Like I needed that awesome wrestling show getaway from WWE, and now the only thing that we're left with is NXT UK, and so few people watch NXT UK. It's mind-boggling, and I'll never understand why. Like I know that actually the main roster WWE on Raw and on main roster NXT, they none of them talk about NXT UK. Like they don't put their own show over enough, and maybe that's why people have no idea about it. Because every time when I tweet about NXT UK, something about NXT UK,
People are like, huh?
and they were like, who? And I was like, this is weird. And like last night when A-Kid lost his match, and I'm kind of wondering if he'll win the match next week and actually go to the ladder match at Stand and Deliver, because A-Kid has been one of the main attractions in NXT UK for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
As I talked with Rob, he was the first one to win the Heritage Cup, and the NXT UK Heritage Cup matches have been delivering every week. Like it doesn't matter who's the Heritage Cup holder, they're gonna put on the match of the week for WWE for me. and which is saying something because every match in NXT UK is an amazing match, and A-Kid has put on matches of the nights every week. And the fact that he was trained by Tyler Bate, and like people know I have a soft spot for Tyler Bate because, like, for me, Tyler Bate is the whole package. Absolutely, like the whole package, everything that WWE are looking for. And he's one of the nicest dudes out there. Like, he actually responds to people. Like, he's responded to me on numerous occasions. Like, he's just wholehearted and just he has a beautiful soul, and his wrestling is, I don't know, like he has everything that Vince probably looks for in a wrestler, in a superstar. But you never know. Like, I don't think that Vince actually remembers there's a NXT UK brand.
I don't think he really realizes it at all. I think it's just, it doesn't affect anything on the US side. So he's just like, he leaves it alone and stuff. It's like
Yeah.
that little toy that you play after a while and then you just completely forget. And then years later, you're like, oh my God, this thing's still awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's so many great talent on it. I mean, Dragunov versus Walter, that match was insane. And they brought it over
Insane.
here. Roderick Strong going over there, everybody's just going all ape at it. But NXT UK is really good, and people should give it a chance. But it doesn't. Like, I'll pop in on some of the shows and stuff like that to watch when I have a couple of minutes. But with so much content out there, it's kind of hard to ingest
Oh
all of it.
yes, I know. Like, I've come to the point where I don't remember when it was the last time I watched AEW Dark or Elevation. Like, I really don't remember. I used to watch it every week, but now I wanna have the time, but I really seriously don't. And I don't want to watch wrestling throughout the entirety of my free time. Like, I want to give myself a break from wrestling just because I fear I'm gonna be overwhelmed at some point and I'm gonna get tired of it. Granted that I do get to talk about wrestling and it takes a little bit out of you at some point. So as often as I can, I give myself a break from wrestling just so I don't get tired of it because I'm terrified of that. I'm really honestly
Yeah.
terrified of being fed up with wrestling. As I was like years ago when I stopped watching, and I don't want that to happen. So this like Dark and Elevation were the sacrifice I had to make, but I can't do that with NXT UK because it's like they were struggling for a bit with storylines, but they're getting back out there. And granted, like, the UK audiences are amazing audiences, and through the pandemic where NXT UK had no audience, it was almost as if like they took the heart out of NXT UK. Now they have some people left, some people in the audience back on BT Sports, and it's still not what it used to be because there are, like, I don't know, 50 of them. And then I
Yeah,
really want full capacity crowds in the UK because I really miss UK crowds. I really do.
plus you can actually travel and go see them live if you feel like it too, if you have the option, being on that side of the pond.
Yeah, sure, I can, but like, it's like traveling in Europe isn't what it used to be. Like, with everything going on right now, it's a bit
Yeah, but
it's a bit on the back burner.
I could just see it now, you and Tad Predictable in the same room yelling about wrestling. That's just so perfect.
And Alex
So shout out.
McCarthy, I can probably get it with Alex McCarthy all the time.
Yeah. And for me, it's more so like when I had to start doing this stuff, I kept NXT on there. I don't consume Raw anymore because with working like 60 hours, I had to pick and choose what's important. I'll pop into AEW a little bit here and there, just if something catches my eye, or I'll watch the online stuff. But It's just WWE programming kind of turned me off after the whole
I know.
all these cuts and stuff and how Raw was. And it was just like covering all that stuff and consuming so much of it. I was just like, okay, my brain's blown up. I need I need a takeaway from it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's the psychological aspect of content creating. A lot of people don't know that if you consume so much of one thing that you absolutely love, you'll absolutely hate it after a certain point.
Yes. Yes. Like giving yourself a break means that you care about what you're doing and you just don't want to get burned, like a burnout. No, no.
Yeah, well, us working like crazy, that's how it usually is. We always get burned out.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to actually just push away for certain things in life. Like for me, Raw was just it's getting better from what I hear, but it's so horrible for me. I can't sit and watch 3 hours.
It's 3 freaking hours. 3 hours. Like imagine like if someday I'll get big enough and actually have to do like a show which leads right after Raw. I have to stay up for 3 hours in Bulgarian time. Like this is from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. So I can rant about a show I don't even like. I hope so much for their sake and for the sake of wrestling fans, they do get better at this because we know that they can, you know? Like we're aware that Raw used to be the show you never want to miss every Monday night. We know that they're good at storytelling, but it's just they're so lazy that they don't give a crap anymore. Like they know that people are gonna tune in no matter what, so they choose to be lazy, which is something you get when you're in like 3 years into a relationship and you just take the other person for granted. This is the same thing. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna be there anyway, so why try? And you just end up sitting on the couch all day without no pants and not showering ever and not shaving.
Oh,
And yeah.
and it's so it begins. I tell Maggie all the time, you could say whatever you want. It doesn't bother me. I grew up in a house, an Irish household where my mom literally had a frying pan just to make a point that in her hand.
Jesus.
She would never hit me unless it would just I deserved it. It would
She
like
hit
she
you
did
with a
one
frying
time.
pan
Yeah, on my
in the
back one
face?
time. No, in the back one time. Yeah, I went too far on something, and she just basically hit me like softly on there, but because I was walking by. But the point is that you crossed the line. Don't do that. So like anytime, and my mom when she was alive was 5'2". I'm 6 feet, so like literally, it's like
I'm
swinging a
5 foot
tennis
tall.
racket.
Yeah.
So like her having a frying pan and turning it and me seeing it, I'm like, oh, I get the point. So
Yeah, so it's like negative reinforcement, right?
negative reinforcement, but making sure you see it and you don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how you train dogs. Like what? What?
Well, for her, the point was that you don't cross anything or you don't do anything wrong. Like she would have punished me like a normal mom, but if I went too far and it just so happened she was making something to eat for both of us, I wouldn't get any food and she would be twirling that thing and I'm like, she's got a weapon. She's hit me once with that. I ain't going
A
across
weapon.
that. Yeah. Like she'd grab my ear and pull me down to her height and smack me. Traditional
Jesus.
Irish home, like old school
Yes.
Irish home. So I mean, I love my mom. I miss her dearly. But that's
Sounds
why
like a
it's
cool woman.
she was oddly enough joking around about shirts and stuff, but my mom was an awesome person because she didn't give anybody shit. She would be the sarcastic, sly one where she made you think something and say something undertoned, but she made it just in a normal conversation, but it was made to make a point where it was just like, she'd just set that on there, and then 2 hours later you go back and be like, why did you say that? What's wrong with you? And she'd be sitting there having a beer, literally looking at you, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? You just like that type of
Jesus.
smart ass. And that's why I think I gravitate towards with friends, because it's like I appreciate that stuff where, like my buddy Mark, he will literally say something to me, and 2 hours later I'm like, dude, why did you say that? He's like, I learned from your mom. I'm like, oh crap.
Crap. It's below the belt.
But I mean, it's always great to have friends that are like all the stuff you do too. So it's like wrestling brought everybody together. It brought Joel, who you guys don't know, as Anakin JMT. It brought Maggie, Drew, Pluggo, so many people, Ron Patel, Tim Trevor, it brought everybody in. And the linchpin from all this stuff, from all this started, was Rob and Sean, because this show wouldn't happen without Ron and Sean. Right now, what is one promotion you're looking forward to other than NXT UK?
Oh, it's AEW, obviously.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, it's I pay attention to NXT doing stuff with Body Slam,
Yeah.
but I'll literally pop on the AEW stuff on YouTube and stuff and just see what's going on in there. But it's always great to get so much of your favorite wrestlers too. Like, I'll look up, like I saw Jeff Hardy doing, like, trying to find wrestling theme songs to guess which one it was, and he missed like 2 of them, and you see him getting pissed off about missing 2 songs. Stuff like the old stuff we used to do with the round tables and stuff. Why I watch back on a lot of stuff just for memory and nostalgia and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's so much great things and stuff. So, but I'm going to wrap this up because I have to go to work. Sadly, I got to do inventory. So,
Inventory sucks always. I'm so sorry.
no, you're not. Because you don't have to do it today.
Hey, I used to do it for 4 years. I used to work in the really annoying urban store in my hometown, and this sucks so bad. And we had so many stuff, a lot of stuff, and we had to do inventory. It sucks so much.
Well, figured I'd say this on screen. Thank you, Maggie, so much for being on here, being a part of all this shenanigans at Wicked Crazy Pinfalls. And with the 2-year coming up in about a little over 2 months, a little over 2 months, yeah. Hopefully you can come on then and just,
I hope so.
And go over all that stuff. But from a friend to a friend, I really appreciate you. I really am grateful to have you in my life, even though you're far, far, far away. And one day,
it's not
hopefully,
the distance that's important.
No, but hopefully one day you'll meet a certain someone that's coming into my life eventually. Everybody's gonna tilt their head once, and that will be on a show. So I want to be appreciative and say this on air, because I say this all air. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of everything.
So if you ever need me, just whistle and I'll beat the crap out of someone. With my words, I'm not a bully.
Well, you and Amanda in the same room, I can say this much. My girlfriend is awesome. I love her to death. But both of you in the same room, I'm screwed.
Okay, you just need to behave and everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Maggie, tell them where they can find you, my friend.
Guys, you can find me at Maggie_IK and on Twitter, and on Instagram at Maggie.IK. There's a little bitch that took my handle on, like, my Twitter handle. She put it on her Instagram, and I cannot get it back. It sucks so much. But yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, and you could also fight for see her on Fightful Overbook too with Rob on
Yes,
that
guys,
show.
please subscribe to Fight for Overbook. There are a lot of amazing people doing amazing stuff there. Like there's literally everything for everybody right over there. So it's cool people doing what they do best, and it's just amazing.
Yep. So the Queen Bee is going to come back in the tournament, making her picks, not being live because of everything, but she probably will end up dominating this tournament like she dominated her opponent, Pat Mason. So yeah, there we go. Shout out to Pat. Other than that, we'll be back here tomorrow night, hopefully, and just, if not, at least this is your little taste of Wicked Crazy Pinfalls if you're just tuning in. Do a good deed, pay it forward. You can find me at the handle. Go follow Maggie. She's always awesome. So have a good day, guys.